Hey, congratulations. Can you believe you are now in week 3 of college? Welcome to First Year Foundations. Let's get started. We are, according to the schedule, supposed to be talking about the liberal arts and what that means. And so I thought we could start by talking about what the opposite of that means, which is dogmatic, top-down, telling people what to think. And I hope you agree that that's not a very good way to learn. And so the liberal arts, if you think about the word liberty, if you speak French, liberté, if you speak Spanish, libertad, it's all about freedom, right? It basically means taking away restraints and freeing people. And so freedom and education go together if you want to learn things and if you want to be a much more intelligent person in reality, as opposed to having some official seal from some government or group in power. When you think about the history of the world, we could have been a lot more advanced, a lot quicker, if we had only allowed people to learn and to explore things like, for example, some of the great revolutions, Copernicus. For a long time, people were just simply told that the sun revolves around the earth and that the earth is in the center of the world or the universe. And, it was very difficult to learn if that's what you were told and you were told not to challenge that. So Copernicus and a number of other great scientists suffered greatly for finding the truth. Had they been able to explore freely, had they been exposed to what a real liberal arts education should be, then we could have learned a lot more about our solar system a lot quicker. A few other things come to mind, and you'll notice that all of these are about realizing that we thought we knew stuff and we actually don't. So for one, Freud, when he kind of came with this realization that a lot of the things we do, he's not going to stay. A lot of the things we do without realizing it. We do without knowing exactly why we're doing it, right? Because there's this unconscious that is getting us to act, even though consciously we don't realize it. And so we thought we were the center of the universe. We're not. Earth is one of many planets in many solar systems. And then we thought we were the center of our world, but Eastern religions, unconscious of Freud and other psychoanalysts have shown us that we are not. There's a bunch of stuff pushing us in different directions that we're not conscious of, and that we're not a soul entity like we thought we might be. And then evolution, of course, we thought for a long time humanity had been simply placed here, and it's not. Evolution is a fact of life that many people were unhappy with when it was discovered by Darwin, but eventually, pretty much everyone agrees now, I hope, that the world is round and that people and animals and plant life evolve to meet their situations better, and part of that involves unconscious thinking and exploring. And so, anyway, liberal arts, it always makes me laugh sort of when, right-wing conservative pundits are saying things like the liberals are trying to take away our freedom because, literally, liberal means liberty, means freedom. And that doesn't mean that some people call themselves liberal and they have no idea what liberal actually means. A lot of the words that are used in the news and in discourses show how sort of ignorant people are of what the actual use of that term is supposed to mean. But liberty, liberal arts, all of that is supposed to be about the freedom to explore things and to challenge yourself. That's an important element as well. And when you do that, it can be very uncomfortable because you realize all of those things that we thought we knew, right? That we were the center of the universe and we were the center of our own ideas and that we were put here without evolution and things of that nature. It can be scary because it seems to take away power. But actually, I would say that the more knowledge you have and the more knowledge you acquire through this freedom of education, the better off you'll be. That's why I've put a few questions up here on the site so that you can kind of explore for at least, I don't know what it'll take you, maybe 15 minutes. Explore some of the things that you maybe thought you knew and didn't, because some of these questions will seem really easy and maybe they're not. And also where you want to go with that. You could try to go to school, get the best grade from the easiest class and move on. That's not really a liberal arts education. That's more of rubber stamp. Someone stamps your certificate and then you can go off and you might think you're smart, but the irony is that if you talk to people and ask them, are you smart? A lot of smart people will say no, because they realize how much there is in the world that they don't know. A lot of dumb people, when you ask them, are you smart, will say, yeah, I'm a fucking genius, right? But in reality, they just don't realize how big the world is around them, and so they think they know a lot more than they do. There's actually scientific experiments that I'll put up on the site as well that explore that. It's called the Dunning-Kruger Effect, where literally the less people knew, the more confident they were about their knowledge. The more people knew, the less confident they were about their knowledge, and that is sort of what a liberal arts education is supposed to do on one level. It's supposed to make you feel inadequate, that your knowledge is inadequate, because it is, whether you realize it or not. But once you realize it, you can do things to learn more and to explore all of those things that maybe you thought you knew, but you didn't. That's the best and worst part about a liberal arts education. It will make you feel small and maybe dumb, and if you respond negatively to that, it can be really frightening and challenging. But if you respond positively to that, you realize, wow, there's this whole field of science I didn't know about, or there's this whole field of cultural studies, cultural theory I didn't know about. It can actually be really liberating, freeing, because it opens up all these possibilities that you can study. So, bad news, you're not as smart as you think you are. In fact, there's a few good books by that title and a podcast that I encourage you to check out. It's fascinating how we think we know all this stuff, and then you actually ask people and they don't. And so I'll put a few questions like that up there. And at first you might say like, yeah, I totally understand that, but you might realize you don't. I mean, obviously I'm no different. The more I learn, the more I realize I'm dumb or ignorant. I mean, I don't know a lot of this stuff that I wish I did know. And if you experience that kind of thing yourself, it actually means you're getting smarter. So that's the good part, right? Socrates famously said, I know that I don't know anything. And that was because, he was a pretty smart guy. And so he realized there was all this stuff he didn't know. And so the irony is, you might be thinking, I'm very smart. If so, you're probably not. And the good side is, if you're thinking after taking some classes now and after reading some stuff that, wow, I'm maybe not as smart as I thought I was, that actually means you're getting smarter. So congratulations. So if you feel dumb, that's good. If you feel smart, that might not be so good. Obviously, the situation, the context is dependent on a number of things. But anyway, enjoy the freedom to explore and to learn without people hopefully telling you what you must think. And in doing so, that gives you a lot of privileges that a lot of people around the world still don't have, historically didn't have. And it'll open up the possibility for a much better future where we do know more, even though we won't know it all. So yeah, that's what a liberal arts education is in my under 10 minutes. Should I try Rupert again? Yeah. And I will see you or talk to you next week. Feel free to email me questions if you have any, and don't forget the Ask Me Anything button, which I'm going to record soon. I think I have 2 questions right now, but if I get a few more, I'll add those to the list. Until next time, cheers.